up, you guys? It's your host, as always, the guy with movie tickets, back after a very long hiatus. It is good to see everybody again, and today we're coming back with a movie review for Marvel Studios' newly released film, Thor: Love and Thunders, in theaters today as well. First off, let me go ahead and say that after a very long hiatus, very busy schedule, I'm definitely going to be trying to work my way into doing these movie reviews after every movie that I see as well. I know it's been like forever. I post a lot on TikTok. If you guys haven't followed me, my TikTok handle is the same. I do try to post on Instagram as frequently and as much as possible, either through stories or through random posts. Also, going to be the same handle as well. And from there, I would appreciate if you guys again would share, like, subscribe, follow, and pretty much get the word out there on my page just to help and share different views on movies, series, anime series as well, manga, and television series too. But let's go ahead and jump into it as well. So, to start off with the movie review, I do want to give this movie a solid 8 out of 10. I thought it was really good, and I'll point out some of the things that I thought were interesting about the film. So, going into the film, there was a really good lineup of music that they had set up, and it definitely went well with the storyline as well as the style of the movie. It pretty much dove into every rock song out there from Guns N' Roses, and just pretty much everything from that time era of music and rock and roll. So they did a good job choosing which songs to put in this movie and where to put them in all the action sequences or the storyline sequences where there wasn't really much action. The other thing I do want to say that was interesting was the storyline of the film, and as we all know from based off of the the trailers that we've seen, the posts, the news reports from different sources of film based news outlets, that Jane Foster, who's played by Natalie Portman, is taking the mantle as Lady Thor, and she gets to wield Mjolnir, and from there she is pretty much donning the Asgardian look herself. I'm not gonna say as to exactly what goes on in the movie with her character as well as with Thor's character. Just more so, it's just that it's really cool to see that they both are having that interaction again after their last meeting, which was Thor: The Dark World. But in this storyline, I'm not going to say as to what exactly is happening with her character, how she pretty much wielded the powers, and so on and so forth exactly through. This is something that you have to see. Also, want to throw in a little side note. I will not spoil this at all, so you guys are safe. You don't have to worry about clicking out or anything, and I'll be sure to put the title as spoiler free as well. It was really cool to see how Thor was adapting after his last venture as well as his last battle with Avengers Endgame. And as we all know, just kind of like he, in a sense, was trying to regain his confidence back, and he was also trying to just rebuild himself after just a tremendous loss and just the struggles that he went through. And this movie is kind of like leading off from that to where Thor was bettering himself definitely after Endgame and especially after Infinity War, as we all know what happened after that. Another thing that was interesting that I really liked about the film is it panned away from that multiverse storyline. So there was nothing mentioning the multiverse or anything of that sort. As we all know, we saw that with Spider-Man: No Way Home and a few other Marvel projects, such as WandaVision, Doctor Strange, and most recently the Spider-Man movies too. They were the start of it, but it was kind of cool to see that the storyline did change and it didn't stem off of that. And there's not really much of a connection to that too much, and there's not really much of a actual mention of that at all, or any presence of the multiverse storyline within this movie at all. So that's something that I thought was really cool. Another thing that I really liked was the comic accuracy suit that Natalie Portman's Lady Thor was rocking, and it was really cool seeing the detail of the suit from there and seeing a few pictures posted online as well, and comparing that side by side between what she was rocking in the comics, as well as what it looked like bringing it to life. So it's really cool seeing comic accuracy at its best, especially when it's kind of hard for a lot of movies or even TV shows to kind of adapt that, because directors in their own way want to present their own version of a comic accurate suit, and it can be different. We see it a lot with Captain America's suit, as well as the Iron Man suit. That's very highly comic accurate, even though that's special effects as well. With Thor, there is a lot of comic accuracy too, as we all know. And if you guys have been following the Marvel Cinematic Universe since around 2007, 2008, with the first Iron Man, you can see the comic accuracies have been pretty spot on, or some of it may not be exactly as close to the character itself, but it's their own rendition as to how the director would like to see that comic accuracy. But pretty much stating it, the comic accurate Jane Foster Lady Thor suit was really on par. So that was something that I really enjoyed. The other cool little thing was the funny little cameos. Again, I'm not going to spoil who's in it, who's not in it, what's pretty much going on, but I will just say that the cameos that were in the movie were pretty funny, and just pretty much their the little highlights within that. So it was kind of cool to see kind of, in a way, fillers that kind of like still kept the movie going. And as all the other Marvel movies, this one didn't really have a pretty much drag on moment too much. But it was really cool to see that these little cameos kind of like filled in the in between gaps till we got to the action scenes or the next non-action part of the film. And last but not least, I will say that Christian Bale's acting in this movie was definitely different. It was kind of eerie. It was kind of creepy. It was something that gave you chills too, and it's very different from what his other works are. So, such as the Dark Knight series, we all remember him as Batman, aka Bruce Wayne, and just seeing him go from villain or hero to villain, and from DC to Marvel, is something that I was kind of like trying to wrap my head around. But it was something to where I'm like, it's a actor going into Marvel. I mean, everybody who goes into Marvel, like, they come out like doing their best 100%. I think he gave 110% in this role as well, and I think it was really cool to see him just pretty much bring out a villain that just, I don't know, that just gave you chills, that just kind of like that gave this feeling of eeriness that was very different than any other villains that we've seen throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe, especially even their TV shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter, as well as maybe the Daredevil series or the Netflix-based ones that are now on Disney Plus. But this one was very different. There's really some chills that he gave, and I can definitely tell, and you guys might not know yet until you see the movie, but I think he definitely gave his all in this role and gave it his best as well. And this is something that I would definitely like for Marvel to touch base on his character again, if given that opportunity to. But let's go ahead and stem away from the pros of the movie, and let's go to why I gave it -2 points. So one of the things that I think that Marvel could have done a little bit better, or may have needed to do in terms of the visual effects, special effects, was probably do a little bit more polishing. Now, I know not all movies are going to be perfect at all. Some of them might have their little defects, or their little errors, to where we kind of see like, oh, there's a movie error there, that they're repeating something and such and so forth. But within the movie, I thought that the visual effects could have been definitely much more polished, and some of the action sequences were something that were pretty good. But again, there was a little bit more polishing that could have been done, even if it did mean that the movie could have been delayed for maybe another month or 2 or 3 months. I think it could have been done better, to where, again, that special effects could have been much more polished. The second thing that I think they should have done better was adding more to the story. The film is about, I believe it's about an hour, 35 minutes or so, and I firmly believe that there were some missing components in the film that could have made the storyline a little bit better, or some things that could have been taken out. Again, not all movies are going to be perfect. Some of them might need extra work. Some of them might need a little bit of work. This one would be one of those movies that needs a little bit more work. And the storyline, again, it's something that could have been added. Some things could have been added a lot more, to where it could have helped the flow of it. But the movie throughout the whole way was really good. So you guys might disagree, you guys might have another idea, or just maybe some other uh, point you might want to make. So I'm welcoming all the criticism, all the comments that you guys might want to share or just throw out there. So if you have seen that movie, just again go ahead, throw it out there in the comment section below. And lastly, I think Christian Bale did an amazing job. Everything was perfect, his character, his style, and everything. But in terms of the comic accuracy, such as I mentioned with Jane Foster's character, who turns into Lady Thor, I think they could have done a little bit more better comic accuracy for Christian Bale's character, Gore. And what a lot of people don't know yet, and if you haven't read it in the social media outlets, the news outlets relating to films or movies, a lot of people do say that the director for the film wanted to avoid having Christian Bale looking like Lord Voldemort from the Harry Potter series, which I can kind of understand that. But if they had gone for that comic accuracy and maybe made a little bit more changes, they most likely could have pulled it off as well. But I think the design for the character could have been much more better, much more sinister, and could have added on to his creepy and eeriness. And what Marvel needs to do too is just kind of add into that. We have been in films to where we haven't seen films to where it is kind of eerie, it is kind of creepy, such as Doctor Strange, Madness into the Multiverse. That one was a movie that did add on to the eeriness and stuff, but compared to Christian Bale's Gore character as well, it's something that they could have definitely continued on with the eeriness as well. There, they should have gone with that comic accuracy, and I think had they gone with it again, it probably would have added on to that eeriness that that he was giving with the character too. So those are the main points as to why -2 points instead of giving it that whole 10 score. And again, not all movies are perfect. None of them are going to be like spick and span for everybody. Some people might not like them. Some of them might enjoy them, or some people might not really care for them as much. It just depends on you, the moviegoer, as well. For me, I enjoyed the movie 100% throughout the whole way from beginning to end. For me, I have this whole belief where it's like I don't get any popcorn or snacks, maybe a little after the movie, but it's more so just so that way I don't have to step out, use the restroom, and miss anything within the storyline. But before I go, let me also tell you this. There's not one, but there is two end credit scenes for the film. And if you guys know a lot more about characters that are associated with Thor, you guys are going to be in for a wild surprise. So go ahead, watch that movie. Again, Thor, Love and Thunder is out in theaters now. Go ahead and take your friends, family, loved ones, girlfriend, boyfriend, your cat, your dog, your lizard, turkey, whoever you want to take. Enjoy the film. Let me know what you think. Comment below. What are some things that you liked about the film? What are things you disliked? Things that you agree with me? Things that you disagree? I accept all criticism. I welcome it 100%, 110% actually. So go ahead and throw that out there. But don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, follow, and most importantly, share this with everybody that you know too. And again, within that list, your parents, your family, your loved ones, your boyfriend, girlfriend, dog, animal, pets, whoever. Just go ahead and share that. I welcome everybody to my channel. I want everybody to experience what they believe is going to be like their best movie, but also something that they want to share as to movie reviews of themselves, or just kind of have that whole discussion. But I'm talking too much. I've just realized that. But it is great to see you guys again, and I hope to see you again soon. And go ahead and follow my Instagram and the TikTok too as well. I'll see you guys next time. And as always, enjoy the films and let me know what you think.